Hi guys, Avery here. Today I will be showing you how a car works. So this is going to be in many videos, but in this video we're going to do the basics for cars. Anyway, so the last one of all the parts in an engine, there was many mistakes. So so I'm gonna be doing another engine showing video, but this one's gonna be in parts. And don't worry, I will do it because I like engines and I can't fail you guys on an engine. Anyway, except the time, which whatever. In video magic, it'll just go by in 2 seconds. In real life, it takes like 3 hours, but yeah. Okay, so smash the like button, make sure the bells are ringing, subscribe, and let's get into it. So, screwdriver. So I found an app that can explain all of it. So most cars nowadays are inline fours, as we all know, which is a engine right there, so you can see, just make sure I can see it. So you can see it's an inline four, has 4 pistons. Good look. So it has 4 pistons. So most engines would go in this order, like, so the 2 outer pistons go in sync, and then 2 inner pistons go in sync. But some have the 1 piston here and here would go like this, and the others would still go like this, so they're not in sync. Okay, so that piston and that piston, I'm gonna get my trusty screwdriver. Okay, so that piston and this piston would be in sync. The other 2 would be in sync, but all 4 of them wouldn't be, but they would. But most are like, the 2 inners are in sync and the 2 outers are in sync. So inline 4, and then there's V8, which uses the out and then inner like this, and then over here like this. Except there's 8 pistons. V8s are also kind of common. So as we all know, the V8. And what is not common is horizontally opposed engines, so like this. So it's like when 2 pistons are on this side, 2 pistons are on this side, but there can be many pistons. It's a flat surface, so the inline is a flat surface, I guess you could say. It's like this. V8s is a V structure, so like this. And then horizontal is literally like this, so flat. So most horizontals have 6 cylinders in line, so like 6 pistons. So that's the V type. So for the horizontal, because I explained V8 goes like this, and then this, but like sideways, and in line can go like this, and then this. The horizontal, okay, so on this model, there's 4, 2 on this side, 2 on this side. So if it's a whatever it is, the closest ones to the flywheel always go like this. So they get pulled together, and the others would go out. So when the inners go in at the same time like this, the outers go out like this. So that is that. And now I'll explain the way that it goes. So for new people, obviously the pistons would go up and down and the crankshaft spins due to the crankshaft being like this. So this so this spins. As you can see, it spins this way. Like this way. Anyway, but because the crankshaft is spinning, there's a pole that goes like this, like around, and the piston is like this. So it goes like that, but it goes like around like that. So which causes the piston to go up and down. But the piston is the one that's powering the crankshaft. Because when it goes up and down, this is when the stages come. So there's gas flow. So if you look here, the gas, the piston goes down, but it pulls, the gas valve opens, sucks the gas down, and then it goes back up when the gas is in and compresses. The spark ignites, setting the gas, which the gas is actually mixed with air. So the mixture, I'm going to call it the mixture because that is. So the mixture gets lit and it explodes, which sends from the force pushing the piston down, creating the crankshaft to rotate, which makes your car move. And then after it sending the piston down, because the flywheel and the other pistons, it goes back up and the exhaust goes out. So that's how that works. So then that's how an engine works. And that took 8 minutes. So I'm going to do another part of the cooling system and the ventilation system. Okay, so I'll do the cooling and ventilation and heating, and then I'm gonna do the rest in the next video. So we're gonna be doing like 3 things or 2. Okay, so have you ever wondered what that vent does that's in front of your windshield? So your windshield is right here, and there's like a vent that's like right here. That is actually where the air comes in. So if you look here, that is the vent. So you can see the little vents there. And then actually says the parts. So kind of zoom it in. Okay, so there is the heater core. That's right? Heater casing right here, which the heater core I think is inside it. Should be. So then your air goes in, and that's where your AC/heat/defrost come from. So I'll explain more later on. But as you can see, the tubes go to the cabin, which is your vents. So there's one on the driver's side, there's one steering wheel's here, the vent should be over here. And then the passenger side, the dashboard is here, there should be a vent here. So like both on the door sides. And then depending what car you have, there might be in the back or not. Most cars don't. Well, they could. Anyway, as you can see, so that's how that works. So the air goes in, gets heated or cooled, depending what the dial's on, and then it comes out into the cabin. And the defrost is, well, it's part of the cooling system which I'm about to show right now. Okay, so cool. Okay, so so this is the heater blower fan. So right here. And then there's the heater. So that's what's inside that black box that was in the other thing that's attached to the vent. So the heater heats up the air, I guess. 1 second, I'll be back. Okay, so apparently that was the engine cooling system, which was actually what I was looking for. Because why would the coolant go through a burning hot engine? That just makes no sense. So the air conditioning just goes through there too. Just, well, yeah, that's the only way. So I was actually going to explain how an engine cooling system works. I knew that I was supposed to explain 3 things. Had a feeling that wasn't cooling. Anyway, okay, so here's what we were looking at before. I'm gonna unzoom that. Okay, so the pipe, where is it? Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. It's like that. Okay, so this long pipe is the one that goes to the engine block, which the fan here cools the hot coolant. This is the coolant. In those pipes is coolant. Is the cooling system for the engine. Okay, so it comes in from this little pipe. So the engine block is right over here. Comes in from to this, the heater. The fan cools it, which I think those little lines are like the coolant lines. So that cools that. It goes back down over here and back into the engine, and then it constantly does that. So then it goes a little bit and then comes back through this into the radiator. And then goes from the bottom up over here. I'm gonna make sure that's right. So radiator core, bottom tank, drain, tap, which is a drain tap and a radiator, by the way. That's how you do your coolant flushes. Okay, so the water pump. So it comes from the heater. That long hose goes into the pipe, as you saw. And then it goes through. Okay, so the coolant obviously stores in the radiator, I think. That's why there's a bottom tank and a top tank. Anyway, so it kind of stores everywhere in there. Okay, so when an engine is cold, it doesn't go to the heater I think it goes through the radiator until it warms up, and then the thermostat opens. It opens, and then it starts going through the heater, and then does its rounds by that, keeping the engine cool, and the radiator is still kind of used. So that's how the engine cools. So you can kind of look at that. You can pause it. Okay, so then that's about it for this video. Or I could probably do the braking system. Okay, so 4 things in a video. Okay, so it's gonna be 4 things. Okay, so when you push your brake, there's a master cylinder behind it, which is, if you ever pop your hood and then you see like a tank, maybe on the driver's side, that's your master cylinder tank. That's where your brake fluid stores. And if you're standard, you'll see another tank, depending if you have a hydraulic clutch or a barred clutch, as I call it. It's the mechanical clutch. Okay, so master cylinder and servo unit. So right there. And it goes through the lines, goes everywhere to the wheels. So you can look at that. So it goes from the master cylinder, goes everywhere, and then when you push the brake, it pushes the fluid and makes the calipers squeeze to stop your car. And yeah, so explain that. And then there's the handbrake linkage. So handbrake is right there. There's actually lines, like mechanical lines, like on a bike. So then it goes back, which is where, so if you have, whether you have disc brakes at the back or not, you're going to see like a round box looking thing. Like it's not really a box, but it's like bigger than the front. That's because it's called a drum brake. And that's where your handbrake equipment stores. So there's like a shoe. When you put the handbrake, then the shoe goes out against the drum. That's what it's called, the drum, which is attached to the wheel. It's bolted. So then it makes your wheel stop. And that's pretty much the braking system. Okay, so next video I'll be doing the car electrical systems, how a fuel pump works, how it drives, and how the valves open and close. So like that. So I'll be doing that probably about tomorrow. I'm gonna put a thing on my calendar, which is somewhere over there. Yeah, it's right back there. So smash the like button, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's gonna be tomorrow in 2 seconds. 3, 2, 1.